The man with no shadow approached the kids who were shivering in fear, and then... Hi, friends. Today I will be telling you a story about a ghost with no shadow. It all started one rainy afternoon in Avatar City. Leo and his little sister Mia were stuck inside their apartment while their parents were out getting groceries. The rain had turned the streets shiny and slick, and the tall glass buildings looked like they were crying. Bored, Leo leaned against the window of their 12th floor apartment and watched the people below. But then he saw something strange. A man in a long gray coat stood at the corner across the street. He wasn't moving. He didn't even flinch when a taxi splashed water near his feet. But that wasn't the strangest part. He had no shadow. Leo blinked and looked again. All the streetlights were on, and everyone had a shadow behind them. Except him. "Hey, Mia," Leo called. "Come look at this guy." Mia pressed her nose against the window. "What guy?" "There," Leo pointed. "Gray coat. No umbrella. Just standing there." They watched for a while. The man didn't move, just stood there like a statue. Eventually, their parents came back, and the kids ran to the door to help carry in groceries. By the time they checked the window again, the man was gone. The next day, Leo almost forgot about the man until he and Mia were coming home from school. As they stepped into the elevator, a tall man in a gray coat walked in behind them. The man didn't say hello. He didn't press a button. He just stared straight ahead, as still as stone. Mia nudged Leo and whispered, "That's him!" Leo glanced down. No shadow. Even with the elevator lights above them, the man's feet cast no shape. When the elevator stopped at their floor, the doors opened and the man didn't move. Leo and Mia slipped out fast and hurried into their apartment. That night, Leo put a chair in front of the door, just in case. The next evening, around sunset, Mia said she heard something in the hallway. "A whisper," she said. "It said my name." Leo laughed. "No way." But then he heard it too. "Mia?" A soft, slow whisper, like wind sliding under a door. They pressed their ears against the door. Then, a knock. Not hard. Just one soft tap. Leo peeked through the peephole. No one there. He opened the door slowly. The hallway was empty, but on the floor was a small gray envelope. Inside was a note that said, "Find my shadow." That night, neither of them could sleep. The next day, Leo had an idea. "The city library," he said. "Old buildings have old secrets." They took the bus after school and headed for the downtown library, a huge stone building with lion statues out front. Inside, they asked the librarian if there were any books about local ghost stories. "There's one. Room 7B. Dusty stuff. You'll need gloves." They found the room in the back, where the lights flickered. On the bottom shelf was a thick book titled Unseen in Brightvale. They flipped through until they saw a sketch. The Man Who Lost His Shadow. In 1899, a man named Elias Grin walked the city every evening. One night, he vanished near the Bell Street fountain. All that was found was his coat, and no shadow was seen near that spot ever again. They raced outside. The old fountain on Bell Street still stood, though barely anyone noticed it now, hidden between new shops and cafes. As they approached, the street lamps came on. And standing beside the fountain was the man in the gray coat. He turned to face them. No shadow. Leo took a deep breath. "Are you Elias Grin?" The man nodded once, then pointed to the base of the fountain. There, behind a patch of moss, was a metal plaque, faded but readable. It said, "To Elias Grin, the man who lit the lamps, lost a shadow, but not to memory." Suddenly, as if a wind passed through, the streetlight flickered. And for a second, just a second, Leo saw it. A faint shadow stretching out behind the man. He smiled gently, then slowly walked down the street.